Hello YouTube, welcome back to my channel. Today we're diving into something super exciting, integrating Azure SQL with Django. If you're still using SQLite 3 for your Django projects, it's time to look. Let's explore why Azure SQL is a game changer for your production environment. First things first, why Azure SQL over SQLite 3? Well, SQLite 3 is great for development and small projects, but when it comes to production, you need something more robust and secure. That's where Azure SQL comes in. Azure SQL offers high availability, scalability, and advanced security features that SQLite 3 simply can't match. With Azure SQL, you get built-in data replication, automated backups, and seamless integration with other Azure services. Now, let's talk about database isolation and security. In a production environment, it's crucial to keep your data safe and isolated. Azure SQL provides multiple layers of security, including encryption, network isolation, and advanced threat protection. This ensures your data is protected from both internal and external threats. By isolating your database transactions, you maintain data integrity and consistency, which is essential for meeting regulatory requirements like GDPR and HIPAA. Setting up Azure SQL is super easy. Here's what you'll need: an Azure account, Azure Data Studio, and Visual Studio Code. If you don't have an Azure account, you can get one for free with Azure for Students. All the links are in the description below. 1. Sign up for an Azure account. 2. Download and install Azure Data Studio and Visual Studio Code. 3. Create a new Azure SQL database from the Azure portal. 4. Configure your Django project to use Azure SQL by updating the database's setting in settings.py. In this video, I'll take an existing Django project and show you how to migrate from SQLite 3 to Azure SQL. We'll modify the existing database, make migrations, and then migrate the database. First, update your settings, py to point to your new Azure SQL database. Then, run the following commands: python manage, py make migrations, python manage, py migrate, and just like that, your database is now running on Azure SQL. In this exciting demo, I'll show you how to create an Azure SQL database from scratch and seamlessly connect it to your project. I'm going to set up a SQL database server using SQL authentication. If your project needs identity-based authentication, you can opt for Microsoft Entra or even use both SQL and Entra authentication. Since I'll be sticking with the traditional SQL authentication method, I'll create a user and password. Since this is a testing project, I'll be selecting options that use minimal credits, like a non-elastic pool and LRS. Let's keep it efficient and cost-effective. While the deployment is in progress, I'll configure the working environment in Python. In this step, I'll be using one of my Django projects that handles data. I'll simply clone the project and install the necessary packages. Here's the crucial part. I'll be installing 2 additional packages that are essential for working with Azure SQL using pip. Don't worry, all the links to the articles will be provided in the description. Now navigate to the settings PY and configure the Azure SQL database options. Before we dive in, make sure your database is configured to allow connections from your Django server. To do this, simply save your Django server's public IPv4 address. Now, I'll transform my database to Azure SQL using the Python managed py make migrations and Python managed py migrate commands. Depending on your internet speed, this process might take a little time. You can even verify the inserted data by heading into Azure Data Studio and selecting the table entry. It's a quick and easy way to ensure everything is in place. That's it for today's video. Azure SQL not only enhances your project's performance, but also ensures your data is secure and isolated. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more awesome content. See you in the next video.